This is Jeff Breedlove with the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, and I'm here today with one of our great ARAD 2020 sponsors, a great platinum sponsor, Mr. Jay Cunningham with Superior Plumbing. Mr. Cunningham, thank you so much for your support and the support of Superior Plumbing for ARAD 2020. Tell our viewers, why was it important to you and Superior Plumbing to sponsor this great event?
You know, Jeff, back years ago, we were hiring people in recovery, and some of my management team came to me and said, you know, hey, it seems like you have some romance with this community, you know, the recovery community. So in that thought, it forced me to go, why? You know, why am I doing this naturally, wanting to hire these people, wanting to give them a chance? It forced me into a thought of why. And what I came out with, Jeff, was the fact that in the recovery community, there's a certain thing that they've mastered. They have decided somewhere in the recovery process early on, they've decided that they take responsibility for what they're doing. It's their issue, it's their stuff, and they're responsible for their success. So in that, I was thinking that not all employees that I have, out of tons of employees, not all of them were going to take responsibility. So I thought I had a leg up. I thought I had a great employee to start with that was willing to take responsibility for what they do from the beginning. I don't have to teach them anything. They're going to say, I got this one. I'm the one that's going to own up to what I do, and I'm the one that's responsible for where I'm going.
And that's so important. As a person in long-term recovery, you know, I know that I'm not alone when I say thank you for that philosophy, because I believe that when business leaders like you, and Superior is a great Georgia company, when you invest in the recovery community, you're making stronger people, you're making stronger families, and it's making a stronger community, and then ultimately a stronger workforce for the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I'd always say that in the thought of recovery and the recovery community as far as vital employees to our company, why wouldn't you look there? The other companies that don't look there, the challenge that they're saying we're not going to look there, it sort of is good for me, because it's a pool of people, a pool of men and women, individuals that are great employees that you can go after. But I would issue the challenge to them to go out there and seek out and consider looking at the recovery community because of the great employees they can be.
Well, thank you for that challenge. And you know, thinking about ARAD, it's the largest single public gathering of people in recovery in Georgia, and you're putting the Superior Plumbing brand right there front and center on it. What kind of message do you think that's sending to people across Georgia?
I think we want to identify as a company in Georgia that is willing to go out and hire people in recovery. I think that day that you're talking about, the awareness day, getting everybody together, everybody that supports everybody, getting that whole thing rocking and rolling together is so important for the people in recovery to realize that everybody's in there with them. Everybody attacks this thing together, including employers.
And that's important, because you know, we're honored to have Governor Kemp and bipartisan support of the legislature, but having the business community begin to embrace the recovery community is in many ways, if not equally important, more important than having government support, because business drives the state, they create jobs, they make families better.
It's a privilege for people, for the business community on its own. It's a privilege for the business community to be able to hire people in recovery.
Well, as we begin to wrap up, that's what I want to talk about. I want to ask you, what would your message be to a peer of yours, a business person in Georgia who has an opportunity to maybe start to rethink their policy? Maybe they haven't been supportive of hiring people in recovery. Just speaking directly to them, as a business owner, successful business owner, Superior Plumbing, Georgia-based company, what would you say to them?
I think that in the business community, if you're looking at why or who you would hire, essentially, leaving out the people in recovery is leaving out a great segment of the population, a vibrant segment, generally a segment that can do your company a ton of good if you consider and let down that guard that thinks that this is not a place or a group of people that you want to hire. Let down that guard, see what you're looking at, and you'll be pleased.
You know, it's such a privilege to be with a leader like Jay Cunningham. I've known a Superior for a number of years, and to finally get a chance to meet you, but to know that you're such a strong supporter, it makes you a true Georgia leader, a recovery champion for the Georgia recovery community. And on behalf of the over 800,000 people in Georgia in recovery, we thank you and Superior Plumbing for your support of ARAD 2020 and our community.
It's our privilege. Thank you.
Remember, we always say recovery is real, and Mr. Cunningham and Superior Plumbing are proof of that.